ACT Leader David Seymour has been one of the loudest critics. He is with me at the desk. Good morning.
Good morning.
You happy with this?
Possibly, but let's see what 1.6 million looks like to real people, because the way we got into this mess is we said, look, 2 million as a number, and then the day after we passed the legislation through Parliament, Council said, oh, we have these maps ready. In fact, we did that in September. They'd started preparing the maps in April, but they hadn't shown anybody. So this time, let's make sure that we get some sense from the Council. If the Parliament's going to say 1.6 million, what does that look like for real people? At this point, we don't know. Some people would say this is why Wellington shouldn't intervene in Auckland planning in the first place, but unfortunately you had that Labour national deal at the end of 2021 that did that, and we're really, as a government, dealing with the consequences, and we'd like to see from the Council.
Okay, so you're not on board. I mean, they've announced a U-turn, but it's actually meaningless at the moment because you don't support it as it stands. You want to see more detail from Council. There's a bit of a war going on here, isn't there, between you and Wayne Brown over who has the final say on where the houses go or don't go, right?
Well, I don't know about that. I just think that...
Well, he says you shouldn't be the ones to decide. You're Wellingtonian bureaucrats. Get out of it.
Well, I mean, look, I have some sympathy for that view from the Mayor because I opposed Wellington getting involved as they did with that deal back in 2021. Then we decided making three-story houses everywhere. That didn't make any sense because it put really intense housing in flood zones and all sorts of crazy stuff.
But so now, what if they don't? What if he doesn't give you a map? What if he doesn't say this is where we think the homes will go? So it could be Epsom. Well,
bear in mind that the way that the council works is that the mayor's only one of 20 votes. I'm saying to councillors, if you want to help democracy in New Zealand, let the parliamentarians have a sense of what they're voting for when they vote for the 1.6 million number. And I've talked to people within the council who have said, look, we have built a model where we can plug in the numbers and produce the maps almost in a matter of moments. Now, I don't know if that person's correct or if the other people saying, oh, it's terrible, it'll take 1 million years are correct, but it seems to me...
You suspect something sneaky is going on at council.
If the council knows what 1.6 million looks like, surely they have a duty to ratepayers. To tell us.
Before we legislate.
Well, what happened last time is Parliament voted,
the opposite,
and we didn't know.
Okay, fair enough. So do you think that they are being deliberately sneaky here? I mean, I get the sense you suspect they are.
Well, you've always got to trust but verify. You want to think people are here to do the best for Auckland and New Zealand, but the way they can verify that is release the maps.
So to Wayne Brown, your message? Show us the maps.
Well, Wayne, we want to get an outcome that everyone's happy with here. If you've got information, then why wouldn't you put it out there in the public domain so other people,
show us the maps,
including Parliament, can make the decision?
Yeah, show us the maps.
Release the maps.
Yeah, release the maps. All right, very good. I think we got to the bottom of that pretty quickly. Do you have votes in this?
Look,
clearly there are people brassed off with. We're about to speak to Goldsmith from National. People brassed off with them.
Look, all I know is that building more houses at an affordable rate so the next generation feels like this country has a space for them is existential for the future of this country. But these wars over zoning that have consumed Auckland planning for the last 5 years haven't got a single extra house built. When I talk to people in the plant development community who are actually trying to build homes, they say, look, we need our consents to be done faster, we need our development cost charges to be affordable, and we need our connections from the likes of Watercare to be done quickly so we can get on and build. Now, in fairness, I think the government is dealing with building materials, we're dealing with connections, we're dealing with infrastructure funding and financing, we're changing the RMA so you can get consents quicker. If Wayne Brown and the council want to help get homes built for the next generation, start issuing consents faster would be a really big help.
Great idea. Andrew, over in the UK, so he is still, as of today, 8th in line to succession to New Zealand's throne. I mean, as our head of state. Should that be the case? He's been arrested, hasn't been charged, but do you think we should look at that?
Well, I happen to know that the life expectancy for a royal is about 100. So being 8th in succession is probably not a bad place.
Symbolically, I think, is the point.
Well, sure, but look, I mean...
Not your worry, not worried.
To be honest, I'm so much more worried about what's happening in New Zealand as a self-governing country. And look, let's be honest, every family has one.
Well, hopefully not.
Hopefully not one like that.
No, not that bad.